Assalamu alaikum. This video is in continuation of my earlier video regarding correlation matrix. In this video we would learn the interpretation of correlation matrix. First of all, this is my variables for which I need correlation matrix. So right click, then click on correlation matrix. This is my correlation matrix which would need interpretation. These are the values of R or correlation coefficient, which represents relationship between two variables. For example, minus 0.9466 is the value of R, which shows relationship between consumption and relative price. So interpret these values. I have created a simple table which would make things easy. I would open it, and I would suggest that you guys please save this table. I would put it on my comment section in this YouTube video, from where you can download it and save it for future reference. So if the value of R is from 0.9 to 1 or minus 0.9 to minus 1, it would represent perfect correlation between two variables. If the value of R is from 0.5 to 0.9 or minus 0.5 to minus 0.9, it would show strong correlation. If the value of R is from 0.1 to 0.5 or minus 0.1 to minus 0.5, it would represent weak correlation. Lastly, there would be no correlation if the value of R is from 0 to 0.1 or 0 to minus 0.1. So keeping in mind this table and the values and the data set that it tells us about, we would go to our correlation matrix, and based on this table we would interpret these values. I would first come to this value. This value is this is the value of R for two variables, relative price and consumption. This value is minus 0.9466. As this value falls here, as it is more than minus 0.9 and less than minus 1, so it shows negative perfect correlation. So relationship between relative price and consumption is perfectly negatively correlated, or negatively and perfectly correlated. Okay, so these variables are correlated with each other perfectly and negatively. Now I would come to this value 0.0618, which represents the value of R for two variables, income and consumption. As this value is less than minus 1, so there is no correlation between two variables. So this value shows that income and consumption are not correlated. Okay, now I come to this value. This is the value for consumption and consumption. It means the correlation between the same variable. It is always 1 for all the variables. See, for income and income it is 1, for relative price and relative price it is 1. What does 1 represent? It represents perfect correlation, perfect positive correlation. So one variable, the correlation between the same variable would always be positive and perfect. Now we come to the last value of R, 0.1788, which shows relationship between relative price and income. As this value is more than 0.1 and less than 0.5, so it shows what? Positive weak correlation. So the relationship between income and relative price is positive but weak. Okay, so this is how to interpret values of correlation matrix.